Hello, my beautiful angels, and welcome back to my channel. I want to keep things a little short with this talking section here because I really want to show the main event and, you know, obviously the elephant in the room and kind of what this video is about is my time performing, being the first ever beat poet to grace the stage at the Roxy here in Los Angeles on the Sunset Strip. What an insane concept that is, that history was made, and it was made in my name. Like, as far as, like, I was the one to do it, obviously, but, like, oh my God. I still can't believe that happened. And I have a lot I want to talk about, but I want to keep it, like, condensed because I definitely want you guys to see it. If you were not there, I want you to see this like historical moment for me and like for that venue and just for, I guess you could say, the culture or some kind of artistic culture. I don't know. Maybe it's a bigger deal to me than like to everybody else, but like I just still can't believe or like wrap my head around this event that happened in my life. I had been talking about this for a while, but I have an EP in the works of beat poetry. It's fantasy inspired, it's medieval revival inspired, it's a reflection of our world told through traditional folk tales, told through music and language, and I just cannot wait for you guys to hear it in its entirety. And I was really struggling with myself because I was like, I want them to see this so badly, but the project is not released yet, so I'm like, how much do I want to share with you guys? Like, how much do I want to keep sacred for that night and those who attended, because it was kind of a special moment? How much do I want to keep sacred with the project itself? How much do I want to be a surprise? Like, kind of wrestling with myself. So I thought I could do like a story time-ish kind of video and then throw in some clips as I talk, and that way you can just get some sneak peeks. I am, and I say this with my whole chest and I say it unapologetically, I am incredibly proud of my life, of myself, of this event, of this project. I am so grateful for my friends. I am so grateful to be surrounded by so much support, because that was not always the case in my life. You know, this year has been a huge just like lesson after lesson after lesson after lesson for me, especially relationally and how I move through the world and things like that. And like this event just kind of felt like a culmination of my growth and all of those lessons kind of folded into one. And I'm here to shine. I'm here to be unapologetically myself. I am here to share my art. I am here to inspire. That is my purpose. Nothing, no negative energy. There's literally, I was in the shower last night. I was actually thinking about this. There is no room. My cup is so overflowing with gratitude and abundance emotionally, and then some with love. I am so overflowing with love that there is no room for me to carry negativity. I've never experienced that. I've always made room for the negative thoughts, whether it was consciously or subconsciously. I've always made room for people to project onto me their negativity, and I've carried that for them. Right now, there is no room. I physically cannot take on anything other than love. And what a blessed place to be in. What a blessing that is. And I really never thought I would get to this place. But I just needed to get that out before I get into this little story time. So obviously I opened for St. Avangeline, who is a friend of mine. You know, we released Strange together last month. So amazing. We got to perform that together live at the end of my set, which was just what a vibe that was. Like, what a vibe that was. Like, how transcendent was that?
Involuntarily accidental spell casting caught in the reverie. In a land far away, I walk frigid air, floating, dream state since I was a babe. Eyes widened in aspiration, enslaved to divine creation. I'm a flame licking the tips of waves. A rose amongst thorns, a warm, human-shaped, winged thing. A magnifier, a cracked mirror, delightfully strange. No amount of bleach can rid the stain, and no amount of love makes you great. I often wonder if God made some kind of mistake. Was it purposeful how naturally loosened I glide in days, like a swan-kissed horizon, blending in the skyline seamlessly, fitting right into the scene, sketched out by some wise being. We cried and begged to, caught in the in-between. They whisper I'm a heretic, an aerial alien, the enchantress, the manic pixie dream bitch, siren priestess, the unclean maiden, foreseeing the best in beauty, living deliciously, evil like
Incredible. But I just want to share just some of the best moments and how just the love in that room that night, the love for art, the love for the culture, the love for Los Angeles, the love for my friends that they had for me, that I had for them, the selflessness of my circle, just everything. I'm just, wow, blown away. But I obviously performed new EP in its entirety, but I also did perform Metamorphosis, not the album as a whole, the title track. I did perform that, which was really cool to revisit, that project and meld it into this like new world that I'm building, this new realm, for lack of a better word.
I'm not much in the eyes of man and his majesty, not since my selfish metamorphosis, a butterfly in my own mind and crimes and insanity. My wild-eyed reflection in still water, avoiding plunder, I fly in careful patterns on the deadened lawn of one ever-standing tower, far more bewitching than Bluebeard's, far warmer and yet just as sinister as the childhood myth. And his king's hand was promised to one sister of mine, pricked and primed for her to metamorphosize in his right eyes, to become able-bodied in the hands of pompous husbands and devoid opinions. Discarded wishes drift down onto the moat as gentle as light itself, and I rush to save them for the day she remembers it shouldn't be this way. The moat was made to make sure we behave. His Majesty mistakes me for callow and at his mercy, falling this way and that, a proper show and shallow. And I may appear demure, but I am rather withdrawn. Cunning observation with hushed resentment tucked beneath my dress. A clandestine wooden door, solid as commandment 4. A wall so certain that surely a butterfly cannot make her way. Try as she may, my king, don't you know that fate is fate? I was always meant to find out this way, with my gaze settled on the disassembled legs and breasts against my will. And his majesty scorns me daily, thanks to my binocular, ever-bleeding key. And omniscience cannot be outwitted, so he caught me with ease. His hands far larger than thee, a fool twice metamorphosed, placed me above the bed frame, sleep dirty with pinned wings. A symbol for all that is pure and takes torture, tame, left alive to behold the famed tenderness bestowed on his stained bride from up high, like children closely watched by a man in the sky. He knew I'd go too far. He knows what is best for me, you see. Don't worry, sister, I'll mourn quietly. doctrine curses I to be the one who swallows your fire whole. My smothering dragon breath fills every room with barbaric smoky fumes, born of my soul. Patterned maps, birthmarks, burns show themselves slow as I shed my mother's soft clothes. Star of Bethlehem smolders its destiny in something hot. The wise men follow and search the treetops for God and come across my scaled beast company. Serpentine teeth wet, heavy breathing, stunning, monstrous and sacred, and you feel fools against it.
And I did announce the title of my next EP at the show. And I know it's going to end up in a newspaper. So I was sitting, again, I have a lot of shower thoughts. So I'm like sitting in the shower, I'm like, should I just say it in the video? Because I already announced it, you know, at the show. And like, I don't have a date yet. This is the thing. You know what? Artists' solidarity, because I used to be like, oh, why do artists take forever to release things? Why do they push out dates all the time? And now I understand. I thought it would come out in the autumn. It's probably going to end up coming out in the winter. Mama's cooking, okay? Mama's doing her best, but I do definitely want to share bits of it with you from this performance so that you know what to expect from me moving forward in my passion projects and in my side projects. So basically, the title of the EP is All Creatures in the Realm of Earth. It came to me last year. The title came to me after I wrote I Will Not Go to Mars With You, and I've just kind of been building that realm, and it really just came together at this performance in the most fantastical, magical way. So yeah, very, very excited to have you guys listen to it, for it to be out, to do more performances in the future, hopefully. Yeah, every time I perform, it just feels so like something other, something outside of me. It really feels like I'm channeling from such a like spiritual place. And I really hope that I can touch people on like a soul level with my art. And just the Roxy was so amazing, so accommodating. You know, Avangeline's team and the other opener, Max Madley, did an amazing job, and just so much wonderfulness. I literally walked into the Roxy and I didn't know what to expect. Like, I've never done something on this level, obviously. I've played shows. Like, I've played at coffee shops. I've opened for musicians before. I have put on my own shows and rented my own spaces, but I've never been on like an elevated stage like that. Like, I'm usually just in line with people. I've never been on an elevated stage. I've never been in a music venue of that caliber, of that, something that iconic. But basically, I walk in, I have a dressing room all to myself with my name on it. What? I'm sorry. Huh? Like, I don't know why that made me feel so like, what? Like, huh? Like, the whole night, I just kept like scratching my head. I'm like, how did this happen? How did I get here? And I know how. Because of my energy, because of my hard work, because of what I can bring to the table, because of my gifts. And when you follow that, when you follow your gift unapologetically, I will preach this to the ends of the earth until it sinks into your head, okay? When you follow your talents and gifts without apology, without hesitation, with no fear of consequence, you will be blessed, okay? You will. It's inevitable. So I took deep appreciation for all of those little moments, those little things, like having my name on the door and like, you know, having my friends there and you know, doing a really good performance, not messing up at all, thank God. Praise the goddess that I did not mess up during my set. I guess I don't want to reveal the tracklist names yet, but I'm going to kind of put some little notes as I go so that you're not completely lost. But I just want to thank you for, if you came to the show, coming to the show, clapping along, clapping for me, you know, being a force of support. And I want to thank you for watching this video. I want to thank you for watching my growth. And if you're not on board yet with my poetry, if you're not on board yet with the beat poetry, this is your sign to get on board. Because I'm telling you, like I know it in my soul. This is becoming something culturally. Like I really feel like poetry is really changing and morphing. You want to be on board. You want to be like, I was there when it started. I was there. You want to be on board. I want to play more shows so badly. Like I just want to keep going. Like I want to keep the momentum. And yeah, here's some clips from it. Thank you for letting me yap for a second. Huge thank you to Elliot, my producer, who was on stage with me with the cello. It really made it super cinematic. And a huge thank you to St. Avangeline and her team for giving me this opportunity. They absolutely did not have to do that. I am not technically a musician. I've never played a show like that. Oh, my light just died. Okay, that's my sign to quit yapping. Thank you to everyone ever. Here's some clips from the show.
Silver bucket, split into bits folded into crevices. The heart shape is frigid, cold on calloused fingertips. The glitter glint silences full moon howls. My power soft on all fours. Star explosions in my eyes, remnants of a perpetual war. Flames on ocean shore. Everything good in me was dormant until you enfolded my frailness in your tender garment. So warm I can finally quit chattering teeth, long enough to hear my heartbeat, flattered by your time spent pure with me. I love you. I love you again. Feels your chest up and down as I lie upon your sweet devotion. And you asked one of those modern questions, provoking conversation as couples do after their delectable fidelity, blur of limbs and lips. Let us discuss this. Do I want to go to Mars with you? Seems out of this world, to say the least, but a fair inquiry as men further technology beyond my comprehension. You emphasize how the Earth has what feels like minutes left, and that humanity will relocate to the planet of war. And you will empty your drawers and join your brethren, but not without me, you said. Death you will not accept, not yet. I must answer sincerely how the red-blooded planet would feel too disorienting. My fears I would never adapt to the dust, the emptiness, the lack of life, the missing signs alien to the thick, virile air. How would I breathe? I love you so. I open and plead for you, but I will not go to Mars with you. I've always known that my perishment would be on the seaside, and if my mother must implode, then so will I, in solidarity alongside her fate. She has been my mirror at the gates for too long. I cannot leave her in her time of need due to the greed of man. It is avaricious to escape the natural order of things. So I will dream of sleep in my mother's keep, welcoming destruction like an old friend, like a portal to heaven. Amidst the explosion, the fire will claim my hair, years of growth, charred and offering. My skin will dissolve into 1,000 grains of sand, as my tears of relief join the sea foam in the drowning land. My eyes so green will pop cleanly, akin to the dewdrop on a leaf. I surveyed and fascinated illusion as a young girl. Earth will never be a young girl again. I lift my head, chin first, my soft gaze now eye level, plant a kiss over your heart and then say, I love you, but I will not go to Mars with you. The bones of my unborn children, jagged and buried in my sore sight. I cannot fight the path ahead of me. It is a moon dream sang with a symphony of frogs, of crickets, of sapphire waves on the shore. It has turned tides in my wide, salty eye evermore. Hold the mast steadfast and sail towards moss-capped mountains, cloaked in smog amongst the sky. Blue-gray water, clear as crystal, candle light, flickering the window of the soul. Hold this landscape of a midnight across the pond, a twilight exploration in the castle ruins. It brought me bread, oysters, and a single pearl that expands until it can't anymore. Peace and clarity strikes like lightning, with no rain following. I see what I must achieve to become clean, holy again. Palpitation, pluck love from the cherry tree, satiate my starvation.
Okay, you guys know I can't spoil the best part. I cannot wait to share all of these unreleased poems with you guys very, very soon. Thank you so much for watching. But for now, just a peek of St. Avangeline's set because it was iconic and crazy.